totally tangent,
Go for it.
but did you read the like in the news? I don't know where I got the news. I think it was Reddit. But NASA has hired like 20 something theologians to
Really?
explore how religion is gonna come to terms with alien life form. That is so cool.
That is cool. Well, because, dude, that can go. I don't know. You'll have your freaking stick in the mud people, right? You'll have your very loosey goosey people. But some people who are like kind of in the middle are like, like they're will deeply. Jesuits will be all over this shit, by the way.
Oh, dude.
They're going to be
Oh,
all on it. And,
I hope so.
I think they'll still see it as a creation, right? They're going to see it as God's creation. I,
Go
ill,
ahead.
I I'm interested to see how it further expands the concept of God's creation. You know,
Yeah, no. I remember it was a couple years ago when I went with St. Michael's youth minister in their group to what was it? That big rally with 18 Steubenville, NorCal.
oh yeah.
One of the questions that was asked is, if you could ask God one question right now, what would it be? Guess what mine was?
Is there alien life?
No. It's more like how do we come to terms with aliens and you guys? Because the whole thing is in our belief, God creates and sustains everything.
Mm-hmm.
That means aliens need to have come to contact with God, informed by God.
And he sustained them. He sustains them, and therefore he created more than just the earth. I think, I don't think it should be that complex of a conversation. I think it will be more down the lines of, okay, we barely understand ourselves here. Why the heck would he even? He probably thought about it and decided, you know what, y'all are too stupid to understand all of this over here. You focus on this. Like he's like just baby stepping us at that point. Which, I mean, we are struggling to just do that, but
Yeah. No, it's hilarious. I mean, we still have yet to explore how much percentage of the Earth.
oh,
I mean, the
gosh,
ocean.
the ocean, yeah.
Right. And so, like, being able to go out there and find other life forms. I think the very scariest thing is how we're gonna react to it. Are we gonna go with the whole front of like we are the king of the universe, or are we gonna go into another pathway? Because at that point, people will refer back to Genesis and how we have dominion over all the creatures and whatnot. But we can reference that to Earth. But at the same time, that was also in the Garden of Eden, and so that becomes an exploration of what is the Garden of Eden.
Not here.
I'm just saying, like, it opens up a whole area of just philosophy, like really deep theology of the, so to speak, heavens, right?
Let me ask you a question. If you were a top tier theologian, right, and they say, Anthony, we found that aliens exist, and we need to now understand, like, how does our faith intertwine into this understanding of these extraterrestrial beings? Like, what would you say? Like, what would your viewpoint in this area be? Or where do you think, like, your personal education, your own faith, what would it be?
I think the first step is to try to understand to what degree of, and I'm saying in a very simplistic way, of what degree of life is it? Is it equivalent to like an animal, or is it a sentient being like us? That dictates a whole lot. Because if it's just like an animal, like a creature, you treat it like a creature, right? Dominion, take care of it, and all that, right? But if it's a sentient being, then conversation needs to be had, because that means an intelligence. And at that point, if they have somehow experienced God in their own way, who are we to try to destroy or take over or
If
have
they have
dominion
some
over
sort
them?
of religion based. based
Yeah.
off of something.
And for some odd reason it aligns with our understanding of God
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. That I think the scary part would be um how it isn't referenced in the Bible, because we will have no direction to take with it. And so it would be made new. And remember, we can't add anything new to the Bible.
Yeah.
And so how do we reference it? Because then at that point, if they had something and it dictated something against us, that would throw people up in arms,
Yeah.
right?
I,
So
th- I think it'd be a lot of New Testament. It would have to be. It would have to be a New Testament kind of viewpoint for all those things, because like you can't go old school Old Testament, especially
but the Old Testament, it references, I mean, points to Jesus. I mean, that's what the
yeah,
Old
I would say like the Old Testament was made obsolete, or it was fulfilled, or it was
Fulfilled,
it was is reincarnate, like whatever you want to say. When Jesus Christ came and he made a new covenant, that took the old covenant. That's what a lot of other Christians called the testaments, covenants. That put the old covenant as null and void, or is fulfilled. However you want to call it. Like he is fulfilled because he did fulfill the old covenant.
and he did claim that he wasn't going away with the old law. No, he's renewing it, basically.
Yep.
He's reforming it for better understanding for us, so to speak.
So from there, I would then just go to the simple, the simple law that was given to us by Jesus of, yes, loving God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul. But yes, loving your neighbor as I loved you. And that neighbor's, we have such a hard time of seeing our neighbor as people in our own city, as people in our own state, our own country, our own continent, our own world. That we're struggling with that. So I'm afraid for when we do go to a whole nother world, man. Like we can't be nice to human beings. Like we're Martians. It's not gonna be Martians, but like whatever it is. And I'm sure we would
find your neighbor.
And I think our neighbors should there should be no limit to our neighbor, but it's hard to understand that, right? It's hard to open ourselves up. That's so interesting though.